What's going on, guys? I've got here a 2013 Hyundai Elantra, and I'm going to use this car to point out to you the location of the blower motor relay, the fuses for the blower motor. I'm going to show you how to access the blower motor and locate the blower motor resistor, and give you some troubleshooting steps for when the blower motor is not working. So we're going to begin by removing this cover here. You just pull this out, it hinges from the bottom. And the fuse in here that's relevant for the blower motor, it is the A-con fuse, A/con. And this fuse is so important because power from this fuse is used to engage the blower motor relay. So it's a 7.5 amp fuse, kind of down here in the lower right hand corner. So I'll go ahead and pull this out just to show you what a good fuse looks like. And as you can see, this fuse is in great shape, which is why the blower motor is working on this car. Now let's move under the hood. I'll show you the blower motor relay and another important fuse for the blower motor. So the fuse box under the hood, it's over on the driver's side. And you remove it by pushing in on the tabs here and here while you lift up. Some of your cars may have the battery negative cable in the way. If you can't push it out of the way, you may have to reposition the terminal for that battery. But once we get this cover out, we can see here, there's a blower motor relay right there. And the fuse that provides power to the blower motor is actually built into this assembly. And it's going to be this one right here, that 40 amp. And we can get a good idea of what a good fuse is supposed to look like. If I just shine a flashlight in here in the back, you can see how it's unbroken inside of that fuse box junction. Now with this blower motor relay, what we can do is remove it and swap it with a different relay. So to remove it, you just wiggle it gently side to side while you pull up. And as far as other relays to swap in, I could swap in my starter relay or one of my cooling fan relays. I can also directly send power to the blower motor by connecting these two pins together. Now, doing this will not result in the blower motor coming on because it also needs to receive a ground, and that ground comes from the blower motor resistor. So let's just take a look at the blower motor itself. I'll give you some more troubleshooting steps. And basically, the role of this relay is to provide power to that blower motor when it's turned on. So the power going to the blower motor from the relay comes in on a yellow wire. So if we look at the blower motor itself, we can see a 2-wire connector. It's got yellow and red. So as I mentioned, the yellow wire carries power. The red wire carries a ground, and that ground comes from the blower motor resistor, which is right here. Now, a great way to troubleshoot blower motors is you can tap on the bottom of them when you have the blower motor turned on. I also like to grab the connector to the blower motor and just wiggle it. Sometimes a bad connection can form, and by wiggling it, you can sometimes get it to start working again. If that's what happens to you, then you may want to plan on replacing the connector, which may be also known as a pigtail. Now, what I also like to do is disconnect it. So you have to kind of squeeze it with some pliers like this and pull out. You can see it's held in by a hook on the back side, so that's what retains it. And it's good to inspect the pins for corrosion. Sometimes they get burnt out. And you can also check for a power and a ground here. If you are seeing power and ground present at this connector, but your blower motor is not coming on, then that's a pretty good indication that the blower motor itself has failed. On the other hand, if you're seeing power but no ground, then you may want to start by replacing your blower motor resistor, which is right here. So yeah, I hope this information has been helpful for you, or is at the very least a good starting point in troubleshooting the blower motor on the Hyundai Elantra. Please let me know if you have any questions or any advice, and thanks for watching.